Hi Capricorn, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your deep love read for mid-March. I'm going to be starting out with singles, then moving to complicated. I'm going to timestamp complicated in the description box, where you will also find a 20% coupon code. Thank you, 333. For any of my readings for the month of March, I'm offering 20% off to celebrate my 2-year anniversary here on YouTube. So thank you so much for your support. It's been a real ride. It's been a lot of fun. And if you're interested, check it out in the description box. So let's get right into this. We're going to start with our single friends. Newly single, been single for a while. Let's just see what comes up. We're going to be doing a past, present, block, and final outcome and see what kind of messages we can get. And then we'll also pull a bunch of oracles. Let's see what we have going on. We have the strength, the recent past. Right now we get the Page of Cups. You're all ready to meet somebody new, get something new going in a certain way. So let's see what we have here. Strength energy, you had an ending, going it alone for a while, coming up into this energy. We got the Ten of Cups, but you're very ready to meet somebody new, it does seem like. All right, so we have this energy, Leo in the past. So Leo can mean a couple of things, you know. The strength energy, is a Leo energy. And it is that fifth house of falling in love, romance, and how we connect with each other really on a day-to-day as far as our relationship goes. It means more than that, but just within the confines of this particular style reading, that's what it indicates. But it also does mean this kind of, if your relationship was tested, right, in this past energy, there being this need for balance. There was a need for balance. And maybe ego got in the way, right? Because the shadow manifestation of the strength energy is ego and egotism. And somebody being really concerned about their own wants, needs, and desires. It seems like it led to the ending of something, a complete and painful ending, right? The 10 energy is really about this culmination, right? And endings. There being a history here. The finality in the release of something released you from the frustration and the stress, even though it was really painful, because you were going through something. It does seem like there were very, very painful time period for you. But it's like the ending of this is allowing you to transform into a healthier energy with fresh eyes, a new mindset, So it does seem like, for many of you, it's this absolute transitioning out of something that was unhealthy, but it can also be, for some of you who've been single for a very long time, recognizing that that's not good for you, right? And how you might have been getting in your own way when it comes to relationship, and being able to really figure it out. And the Hermit energy is a lot of problem solving here. The Hermit is a Virgo. Virgo is the landlord of the 6th house, which is the house of problems and solving problems, right, in a very practical way. So, and that's kind of like that Hermit energy. Now, for some of you, again, going into this problem-solving energy, going it alone to really figure out what it is that you want, need, and desire in relationship, and recognizing that however something's been working for you in relationship up to this point hasn't been working, obviously, but wasn't meant for you, moreover, right? For those of you who maybe were in a situation that really ended up not working out, and even though it's painful, kind of being in that recognition of, it wasn't good the way it was. And you being very focused on the 10 of Cups energy, which is figuring out how you could bring this to yourself, right? It's understanding the benefits of security, of contentment, right? But really being able to get in a more positive mindset is really how because this is about things coming together, things that you have in your mind's eye that you want to happen and manifest in the area of relationship, you being able to finally at least crystallize that for yourself and taking on a more positive mindset. And you're very open right now. This is the energy of where you're at right now. Page of Cups is nice. This is, first of all, it's a new cycle, right? And there's some sort of good news coming into you regarding relationship. And I like this for you. A lot of you, this could be a really, first of all, potential partner just being right there, right? Either you're about to meet them or you've just met them. The only little caveat with this is you want to make sure you don't get swept up in anything too soon. I'm just saying that too, because we're in Pisces season still. We're not in Aries yet, just for the next couple of weeks. So it's really it's an easy energy where if you're just starting something, you know what I mean, like you're just connecting with people, or you're just meeting somebody now, in this season the energy is like, ooh, dreamy. You know, it's not difficult to get swept up. But we have this working with the Seven of Cups. And this is interesting to me because this is about choices and confusion. So something's coming in that's really positive and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I don't know if that's the right thing. Not sure what to believe, not sure what's fantasy and not, right? And as I noted in the astrology video that I did for the month, that's what's going to be happening this month, especially like the 10th to the 15th, just because it was just like this very sort of like Sun conjunct Venus and Neptune and Pisces. It's like, right, whenever Uncle Neptune's in the house, we really don't know like where we're going. That's the thing. So it's not that it's a bad energy. There could be confusion. You might also be dealing with either within yourself or with somebody that you're meeting, commitment issues. Now they could be real or they cannot be real. That's the thing when we have Neptune in the house. So you're just not sure, right? And we have this Ten of Swords energy. So the Ten of Swords really, 10 of Wands rather, we have the Ten of Swords over here. The Ten of Wands is the energy of overwhelm. So something really overwhelming you. Now this could be a couple of things, right? I mean, maybe you really want to get into a relationship, but you are very overwhelmed with the responsibilities and burdens of your life. You know, is this the kind of energy where there's an overload of demands? And even though you would like to change things, it's kind of like this, sometimes I call it like a catch-22 energy where you know kind of what would have to happen in order for you to not feel overwhelmed, but you actually don't even have the time or energy to make those changes because of various things going on in your life, you know, and that's what happens here. It's just like the energy of overwhelm. But something important to note with the Ten of Wands, the direction that you're going in your life is the direction that you're meant to be going. But it's the wands, the responsibilities, the burdens either of the past or your current situation or a combination of the two. Put these wands, right, these metaphorical, you know, situations so in front of you that it's really hard for you to see where it is exactly that you're walking. And it can be not only exhausting, but it can really be confusing. So I feel like for a lot of you, you may be kind of dealing with an energy either, you know, externally, or you're becoming very overwhelmed with just the past. As the Ten of Wands, a lot of times it's just like so much mental burden because of things that were left hanging and unresolved from the past that could end up coloring and confusing your reality right now, right? But what I do see here is you sort of knowing inside of whatever it is that you're experiencing, those of you who are single, you're recognizing that the main issue with why things have not worked out, and I'm not saying this because I'm speaking to you, I'm saying this because this is what the Five of Swords means. It wasn't your issue. And I'm not saying that you were completely blameless in any situation that happened in your past or that's happening right now. But there is a clash of desires and reality, and it's creating a tension and ongoing conflict that you're not going to be able to get in front of, because the bottom line is you can't mitigate whatever external situation's going on. You can't fix the unfixable. You can't make somebody be a certain way. You don't have that power or control. None of us do. We can only control ourselves, right? But it's almost like this, what it is that you want is not squaring with the reality that you're in right now. So for many of you, there could be this idea, and this could be happening very internally, where you want to open yourself up to a new relationship, but you don't want to go through any sort of nonsense again. So you might be experiencing unwillingly this sort of kind of commitment issue because of the overwhelm of something that happened in the past. And even though you very much want to have something, this is what you desire, it's not squaring with your reality. So some of you may be sort of in this space where it's like, you know something's over. You know it, right? From your past, right? You know something reached its expiration date. It's time to move on. And you know and you feel ready, right? Actually, at least in your conscious mind, to move on. But subconsciously, you may still have one foot in the past, trying to put your toes in the future, and you're feeling overwhelmed because a lot of you would love for that thing in the past to come back around and work out in a better, healthier way, but yet you're realizing that's probably not going to happen. So it's this lack of squaring between your desire and reality, if that makes sense. So I feel like for a lot of you, that's going to be happening just sort of on like a very psychological level. Others of you may be meeting somebody new who has commitment issues. And it's really going to end up making you feel a little like, oh, what does this even mean? I don't know if this is even worth my time, because the issue is theirs and not mine, right? So a couple of different ways it can manifest. I like to give a couple of different interpretations because this is a general reading and you're not all going to experience it the same. Also, I don't know what's aspecting your personal chart. So give a couple of different interpretations. And as far as your challenge goes, oh, check it out. Look at this, we got the wheel. And the wheel does, first and foremost, indicate that wheel-like thing, right? It's about fate, change, turning point, but it can also indicate very heavily an ex-person coming back. So it doesn't necessarily have to be anyone that you were ever with, but somebody even that you were interested in comes back from the past. But you really need to think about, what was that last experience that you had with them? And do you think that it's good enough to go the long haul or not, right? And this is one of your challenges here. This is one of your blocks is, figuring out that past versus where you are right now. Should you go back and give somebody another shot? Should you just focus on moving forward? All right, maybe I want to move forward, but why is this person still on my soul? Jesus, get off my soul already, kind of thing, right? I mean, that could just be a challenge in and of itself. Yeah, and we have the Fool, which is all about fresh perspective here, doing things differently, get a new path, uncharted territory. So that might be hard for you, right? Because again, sometimes our conscious mind doesn't square with our subconscious mind, and it's so annoying when that can't happen, because you may recognize, like, look, I'm single, I'm going to enjoy being single, I'll focus on me, my work, my friends, my family, whatever else you got going on. I'm going to open myself to somebody new. I know I bring a lot to the table, but it's like, damn it, why can't I release, right? But and it's hard. Another challenge here is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is about having a lot of clarity, right? It's like this useful information coming in and being able to utilize it. It's this realization of a truth, right? And you relying more on your intelligence and not allowing your heart to come in and rule the show. Well, that might be a little challenging for you right now, right? Because we have this trying to figure this out with the Lovers. And this is your final challenge energy. Now, the Lover's energy means making a decision in love. It's literally that. And I feel like you are struggling, if you're resonating with this, you're struggling to make that final, I'm going to let that go. I'm never going back to them. Whatever happened, happened. But I feel it does seem like you are in this space where this is a challenge for you, because that is the Lover's energy. It's the recognition that maybe it wasn't perfect, but if we're both in this together, maybe we can work on the foundation and fix it together, and then you have the blessing of Archangel Raphael. That's the Lover's energy, right? It's that realization that you guys could come together and really connect in that way. But this is a challenge for you. So I feel like whatever you were in, on the one hand, you might still... There are a couple of things, all things happening at the same time. Recognition that something reached its expiration date, at least the way it was. Not having a lot of faith that that person can change. So even though you're sort of thinking back to being in that relationship, it could be that you're romanticizing or glorifying a very positive time period within that relationship and saying, oh, maybe we could get that back together again. But really, in reality, you're not sure how you feel about that, because part of you is like, no, that's done, it's done, I'm moving forward. But another part of you, there's still that foot in the past. And it does seem like, even though you're single, and even though you want to bring this new opportunity in, you may have a hard time with that. Now, we have as the final outcome, the first card up is the Star, which is all about feeling this how do I want to say it? It's like this pull of destiny that you're meant to be with somebody. This is about hope and guidance and a change for the better after a difficult time. Thinking about the future. Really fun, because remember, this is Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, so about the future. You might be meeting somebody online. You might be meeting somebody online. Because honestly, this is like time to be with the person that you're meant to be with, at least for this stage of your life. And that's why I will say soulmate energy. Because there's some sort of lesson that you need to learn either from a person and experience something. Whether it's somebody that you were with, or whether it's somebody new, that's going to be up to you and your particular situation. But we do have the Hangman here. And this is a Neptune energy. Neptune is a landlord of the 12th house of self-undoing, confusion. It's a very smoke and mirror energy. But it's also, it's a space of waiting, right? Now, for some of you, the waiting can be you waiting for somebody that you're very interested in to acknowledge you the way that you acknowledge them, or to acknowledge that they feel about you the way you feel about them. And maybe you're not getting the commitment that you're really waiting on. So you're single, but it's like this, you're interested in this person, but you're in this space of waiting. And you can easily slip into this, like, I don't know if it's worth it, and all like my time and whatever discomfort it's causing you. And realizing that maybe you're going to end up having to sacrifice, that's Neptune, sacrifice something that you really want, need, and desire in relationship in order to try to make this work, or they're waiting for you to acknowledge them, right? It really can happen vice versa, but you're not sure if you want to commit to something, right, with an individual. But it is that, right? But it's sort of about like no action happening in an attempt to sort of gain wisdom and a different perspective on a situation. And then we have Six of Swords is about necessary transition away from anything that's toxic, right? Just needing to move on, right? Needing to move on from a situation for sure. Giving some space, right, to do some internal work. Just moving on. With some of you, it can mean an actual trip, which would be neat. Because then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is, remember, Pentacles is not only money, it's mental, physical, emotional connection. So some of you could be meeting somebody through work, a new job. Some of you can just be strictly focusing on a new job, but this could also be mental, physical, emotional connection. This is a very auspicious energy, first of all, for every area of your life, as it is about happiness and contentment and really getting what it is that you desire, and having a foundation of stability and things going really, really well for you. So I like, if you're meeting somebody, let's pull another energy here. Six of Cups. Okay, Capricorn, just saying, Six of Cups. It's nostalgia, the past, a reconciliation, reconnecting with somebody from your past. So for some of you, this could just be hanging out with old friends. But this is about finding the right balance in relationship, especially if you've suffered any sort of mistreatment, having to do with anybody in the past, things being better. So that very beautiful energy to get for those of you who are single now, but you're sort of in this in-between space. Should I get back with that person or shouldn't I? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to see what else, if I meet somebody else. It is kind of like that sort of energy. And we have the Queen of Wands. Very nice. Step into your power. Step into your power. Very nice. If you're meeting this energy, this is somebody who's very communicative. They have a lot of ideas. They're very sociable. They're very, very self-aware. Focus on the right things in relationship. I really like that. And if it's just a general energetic influence, you're going to have the strength that you need to make things happen, to energize yourself within the area of relationship. So either way, I really like how this is, going. Let's pull a Moonology card, get a vibe on the emotions that you might be feeling. Right? Because the moon does rule our emotions. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sag. Very nice. Let's pull one more. Emotions are running high. Super moon. Let's pull Whispers of Love. Demonstrate love. Find out what's important to those you love and act on it. That's a good one. One more. Consider your foundation. Look at how committed you are to love. 7 of Cups. That's what I was mentioning before. Yeah. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. Those of you who are single, I hope this was helpful in some way. And I will see you guys next time. Now we're going on to our complicated friends. Complicated. Because chances are, if you're this is how I look at it, right? How I look at it is, you're either single or you're in a complicated relationship that you would be looking for any information from tarot on. If you're in a blissfully perfect connection, you don't need tarot. You could use it to capture the energies, but you have to understand, like, that's the weather outside. You're probably better off looking at your astrology in that way. Just saying. That's my own subjective view. Very subjective. There's no science behind what I just said. All right, let's see what we have here for our complicated. Oh, I like the Ace of Cups. For those of you who are uncomplicated, I like that for now. Very nice. Seems like the opportunity for newness for the two of you. Interesting, because I feel like those of you who are in a complicated situation, it's almost like you're in this position right now where you feel very blocked regarding this connection, right? Because we have the High Priestess reverse here. So you're feeling very blocked, but you're still in it. You're still moving ahead, but privately, like on the down low, you're thinking about kind of moving on, and what would it be to be on your own and have a new connection and do well. So I feel like a lot of you are in this sort of space of 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing, and whatever it is that you're in. We'll see if we can't get more information. So we have the 9 of Pentacles leading into this. So the 9 of Pentacles is really about comfort, right? Focusing on your own independent endeavors. Just feeling comfortable in something, very comfortable, you know. And for a lot of you, maybe you went through a period where you did a lot of really solid work on yourself, and you were just really open to having healthy connection, you know, doing a lot of work on yourself, right? And then you wanted to bring that into, you know, into your relationship and have things go better, right? But at the same time, we have this being clarified by the 4 of Pentacles, which is like very self-protective. So you may have come to a lot of realizations about yourself and the relationship, about you within the relationship, and you sort of ended up moving into this space with all of these new realizations about the reality of your situation, where you were in this mode of self-protection, security, right? Very concerned about also your future security, though, as well. I'm feeling very sort of like, you know, how this could resonate. And I'm only giving this as an example. It's like, okay, you went through a period of doing a lot of really beautiful work on yourself, and you came to realize that the relationship that you've been in is maybe not the healthiest thing for you. So it's you feeling like, okay, I did work on myself. Let's work at this together and let's try to make this better. But when you present these epiphanies that you've had of these realizations or any element of growth into the situation, you found yourself feeling very protective of yourself on the one hand, and on the other hand, questioning whether this was the right thing for you, because you were in a space of feeling very concerned about your future security and where it is that your life was going. We have that clarified by the Knight of Pentacles. And this is really about you investing your time very wisely, you know, having to do with relationship, really saying, okay, I'm willing to put the work in if it's going to be received. You know, I mean, this really is about, now for some of you, putting in a lot into the relationship, but really looking for that stability and security in return, right? And having it well received. Many of you are going to resonate with it like that. If it's not that, many of you may have been very focused in the past on increasing your prosperity and your financial growth, having to do with investments or any sort of venture with your partner, to increase the money that the two of you have, or again, making that investment in connection, right? And putting that work in order to bring stability and security to the relationship. So I feel like it's sort of both, like you realizing things about yourself, lots of growth happening, a lot of you focused on career, focusing on the money, and you're just trying to keep everything going. But it looks like there was this tower moment where this realization came into the forefront and the lights came on and a situation was realized. This is linked to the Chariot, which is about, two things at the same time, destruction and enlightenment. Right, but it is this incites this very negative, necessary rather, surrender, right? So again, something can be shocking, but it's about letting go of past patterns of relating. You just can't keep relating like that anymore. Whatever has been happening, you realizing that there had to be change. So right now, we have the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is, it's like reset, total reset. Not wanting to be in whatever was unhealthy, you having no desire to be in it. You want to just be happy, truly. I mean, this is what I see here. Now, the Ace of Cups in an existing relationship, right, which you guys are in, even though it's complicated, this does indicate strong love and support. While you guys are trying to figure out your future. This is nice. This is one of the good fortune cards. This is like things thriving for you. Very busy, intense period. This can be an indicator for a wedding for some of you. Important relationship being highlighted here. But really it's about like you guys hanging out planning, right? Or what are we going to do? How are we going to move forward, right? And you realizing your plans. So, which is what I like. And you may be doing something very unconventional. In a very unconventional way. Something very different. You might even be involving yourself with unconventional people to actually help ensure the foundation of this relationship. It's really nice. But balance is very, very important here as well with the Three of Wands. Remember, because it's 3, it's not 4. So we really focus on balancing whatever situation, because there's going to be a lot of busy that comes in. So even though it seems like a really beautiful conversation goes on and there's discussion about how to move forward, it does seem like you're kind of blocked. There's some sort of blocked intuition, clouded insight you just can't see. And again, I'm not surprised because we're in Neptune season here, right? So, with Pisces. But you're feeling blocked as far as how to move forward in a way that you truly feel comfortable in. It's almost like for some of you, you're in this space of figuring out, has too much damage been done already? Where you don't want to walk away, but you're not quite sure how a new normal can be established, and could it ever be something that you would be really happy in? Kind of this in-between space. Well, you have the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups, this can have to do with family, where you don't want to break apart the family. You don't want to give up the benefits of security. You focused on contentment. You really want to keep the partnership together, keep the family together if you have a family, right? Obviously, it depends on which stage of relationship you're in, but, and it's all about working hard on something and having it come together. Deepening of communication, deepening of romance, deepening of family connection. This is what you want, but you maybe feel very blocked right now in how to make this happen in the way that makes sense to you, that makes sense to your life, where it can actually work. Let's take a look at your challenges here is the Eight of Cups. So the first card up is the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups does indicate, a departure, right? Change, really recognizing that something doesn't feel right to you, right? And it's moving on, right? This sadness but no regret kind of energy. But this is a challenge for you. You're having a hard time seeing, if it's not right, what does that mean? Trying to understand all of that, really understanding what that means. So that's going to be for some of you. For others of you, you may be learning from the past in this energy, right? For some of you, this can even indicate somebody returning home. maybe who had moved out, or, that reconnection, but you being challenged by it for some reason. Then we have the Hermit energy. So the Hermit energy can be, having a really hard time figuring something out. Again, because this is such a problem-solving energy, you're just not sure. What does it actually mean? And some of you may be afraid that you're going to be repeating past mistakes. And you're feeling stuck. Some of you may be struggling with some loneliness or isolation within the connection. Even if you sleep in the same bed with them every night, just feeling that sense of loneliness, right? And then we have the Eight of Wands as a challenge. This can show up as feeling like just frustration, delays, just feeling like there are some problems here, right, within the connection. And then finally, with your challenge, we have the Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands can indicate and again, this is one of your challenges, right? You're feeling blocked by this sort of like false start or some sort of delay, or feeling a sense of rejection within this. So maybe you wanting things to be a certain way, but your partner not being on the same page as you, something like that. But let's go with the final outcome here. We have the Nine of Cups. This is beautiful, beautiful. First card for the final outcome is about wish fulfillment. This is awesome. This is happiness manifesting, right? Feeling more connected to your own heart. This indicates growth. There's Jupiter and Pisces energy. This is like old tensions dissolving into waters from the past, right? Very nice energy there. However, we do have the Seven of Swords, so we have to pay attention to this because this may be something that needs to be discussed. Because the Seven of Swords is a dishonest energy. It really is. It's immoral. It's running away. This is somebody overstepping their boundaries or being selfish, right? And you really need your instincts and your wits about you to figure out what is really going on here. You may even need to play somebody at their own game for a moment. But it does seem like you're going to be very focused on happiness, on this, making something happen. But that can't happen until you have this conversation, right? Because I feel like you're not going to be fully trusting this energy that you're dealing with. We have the Two of Cups, which indicates a really good conversation, for sure. And if things are difficult, harmony returning, and where you guys are able to nurture the relationship, And we have the beautiful Three of Cups. This is also beautiful. I like this. This is a good healing card. Really good energy for relationships. It's three. Three is the number of creation, right? But the only challenging energy here, again, we can't ignore that, even though it's a minor arcana, is that Seven of Swords. Like, who's doing what there? Somebody has to be called out if you're resonating with it in that way. Yeah, because look at this, Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands, the card of overwhelm. So something definitely has not been going well, particularly obviously, right, with the Tower energy. But there's a lot of emotion here, like a lot of desire to fix something. But everybody's got to get on the same page. And when I say the same page, I don't mean that the scales have to be completely even, like with that Justice energy, you know what I mean? It could be 40-60, and then 30-70, and then 50-50, and then 46. That's the ebb and flow of a relationship. But Ten of Wands, somebody's sense of overwhelm absolutely needs addressing here. And then we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands in the reverse does indicate like impulsivity, a chaotic energy. For some, it could even be like sexual excess, a little bit of a player energy there as well. And then we have the final Page of Pentacles. This is the final pull here. Personification of Earth, like putting a lot of hard work into this, doing what needs to be done, for sure. Really putting in a lot of, this is a beautiful energy for a new beginning, right? A new stage within like the mental, physical, or emotional connection that you guys have going on here. But there's got to be a lot of discussion about selfishness, boundary breaking, who's been shady, running away from responsibility in the relationship. And only you're going to know if it's worth saving at the end of the day. Only you're going to know. And I don't know what else is aspecting your chart beyond whatever Capricorn energy is indicated here. Let's go a little deeper. Let's pull some oracles to get a feel for the psychology that's going on here, having to do with this Tower and then this final outcome. And why would Capricorn feel sort of lonely within this connection? We have Twin Flames, Love, Mask, Heart with the Key. I'm trying to remember what other sign got. Very similar energies here. So we have the twin flames. You know, we know what those are, right? Complementing each other. Sometimes they're painful, though. It's kind of like a soulmate energy. Sometimes very painful, right? Then we have love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, affection, attraction. But then we have the mask, not showing true feelings, hiding, personifying, pretending, deluding, gaslighting. That's very much the Seven of Swords energy here. And then we have heart with a key, welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, perfect. Opening your heart with a key. Not allowing things that have not been feeling right to stay underneath the surface. I know I lack balance, but it's not so easy to look at. Clarifying the twin flames. The mask has fallen off. Oh my gosh. And then we got the mask card. Wow. The mask has fallen off. All right, good. Well, you need the mask to fall off to have the heart with the key. You've been in my dreams. Yeah, somebody, like, you're on somebody's energy very heavy, Capricorn. Heart with a key. Opening up. Opening up. Our connection still affects me. I still feel you on my soul. So I feel like a lot of you, if you're in a space, especially if you're in a space of where you guys are maybe on a break or something like that, where, you know, you might not be together right now, or you might be sharing the same bed every night, but just feel like you're worlds away from each other. You and your loved ones are safe. Okay, new moon in Cancer. So Cancer has to do with the home. It has to do with the metaphorical home space. How safe are you in this relationship? And this, getting the new moon in Cancer energy indicates to me that you're safer than you realize. That things are safer than you realize they are for you to be in. So to me, how I'm understanding that is that they feel as strongly as you do about wanting to fix this, but then it's like, why isn't everybody getting out on the same page? Well, because everybody has to step out of their comfort zone with the North Node. North Node, step out of your comfort zone. Yeah. Let's just pull a closing card. Let's just pull an Angel Oracle. Express your love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. Heart with the key. You guys have to talk about what's going on. This is really important. Whatever's going on here needs to be discussed, because it looks like you have everything you need to make it work, but there's like a lot of foggy communication and things that happened in the past that probably shouldn't have happened, but there needs to be empathy and open communication. That's what I see here, guys. That's what I have. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.